So, our first story is a report that Kyle and Mauricio's marriage is turning ugly. Well, divorce, separation, marriage, who knows what the hell they're doing these days. Maybe they're just swinging, maybe they're keeping it open, who knows. But it is turning ugly. Now, I had first thought that they might reconcile 3 or 6 months, but now I'm kind of having a change of heart. I kind of think that it went too far too long. And by that, I mean it may have crossed over the threshold for it to come back from. Maybe, maybe not. My gut says they'll still get back together, but we'll see. Now, let's dive into this report. This is from All About the Real Housewives. It says a new report claims that the separation between Real Housewives of Beverly Hills couple Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky has turned petty. It looks like Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky's separation has turned from civil to contentious in the blink of an eye. Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky has been publicly separated since September, but word on the street, the two have been privately separated since at least the beginning of 2023, if not earlier. Now, I believe that. I think that they were separated. Well, let me put it this way. We are now in 2024. The filming was 2023. If you noticed, Kyle said in one of her confessionals when she was talking about the death of her friend, Laureen, she said 3 years ago, Mauricio would have been the person that I would have turned to about this. 3 years ago, when she's filming, would have been 2020. So what did she mean by 3 years ago? When did they really separate? When did things really go south? My gut is 2022, and then like 2021, 2022, and then with the death of her friend, it just really set it off, okay? For the most part, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills have remained friendly for the sake of their 4 daughters, Farrah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. The two have also kept things pleasant because they continue to live together in their sprawling $8 million Encino estate, albeit in separate bedrooms. Yeah, they live in Encino, not Beverly Hills. During a December interview with The Messenger, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills OG pulled back the curtain on her, quote, awkward living situation with her estranged husband. We're fortunate enough that my home can fit us all to spread out, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star explained. And I'm also very fortunate that we get along and care about each other very much and that we are a family no matter what. Kyle, stop lying. Okay? If we are to believe that your separation with Mauricio is legit, and I do think that they are legitimately going through a hard time and all of this stuff. The reason why neither one of you have left the house is why nobody leaves the house, because they don't want to have, quote, abandon the marital home. If one person leaves, that's why even though Tom Sandoval and Ariana, they're not even married, that's why neither one of them was leaving that house, because once you set foot out, the other person can say you abandoned the home. And if you abandon the home, then you can forfeit your legal right to it. So this whole, we live in this huge house and we're so amicable, we're a family. Meanwhile, Kyle is out here tonguing down Morgan Wade. Mauricio is out here having like his own midlife crisis, skiing with these little influencer snow bunnies looking like a freaking old weirdo. And I'm not age shaming. I'm to all the woke folk. I'm not age shaming. I'm just saying it's a little weird when a man is, I don't know, in his 50s, 60s, playing in snow bunnies with girls in their like 20s. Like it is what it is. So I'm not being bigoted or anything like that. So don't act like you guys are like best friends and you're just living together for the sake of the children. That's a lie, in my humble opinion. You're living together because if you guys actually get divorced, you don't want to forfeit your right to claim the marital home. That's why nobody's moving out. That's why you have all these divorces, even over in the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Drew Sidora and her wackadoodle estranged ex-husband, whoever the hell he is. Again, that's why neither one of them are leaving the house, because you don't want to abandon the marital home, because you don't want to forfeit your rights to the house. Okay. The 54-year-old notes that she and Mauricio prioritize spending time together as a family with their 4 daughters. That's always been what we stand for. That has not changed. And obviously, some days are not as great as others, she said at the time. Some days it's like, oh, it's a little awkward today. And other days it's like nothing ever happened. And we're all just sitting watching TV as a family. Because of this, it wasn't surprising to learn that Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky spent the holiday season together with their daughters at their home in Aspen, Colorado. While the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills couple are trying their best to remain amicable, OK Magazine reports that the buying Beverly Hills stars' recent behavior has been rubbing Kyle the wrong way. According to an insider, Kyle and Mauricio agreed to spend the holidays together in Colorado for the sake of their daughters, but the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills OG was surprised to see photos of her husband partying with several much younger women in Aspen. Not only was the 52-year-old founder of the agency spotted with a 31-year-old influencer, Alexander Wolf, he was also seen partying with social media stars Lily Pons, 27, and singer Anita, 30. Like I said before, he's like in his 50s. These women are in their 20s, late 20s, whatever the case is, maybe early 30s, whatever. This is the thing. I don't buy that Mauricio is hooking up with or dating or spending time with these little influencer social media people. I think that whole thing in Aspen was a photo op because they are calling the paparazzi. It's called backgrid. So backgrid is basically paparazzi that you hire to, quote, catch you in your normal, I'm just grabbing a coffee at Starbucks. Like, please no photos. I'm just hanging out in Aspen with these social media stars. How did you find me? You know what I mean? So backgrid is the paparazzi company that celebrities pay to take photos of them. Those are then the photos that will end up in Radar Online or TMZ. Of course, Radar and TMZ have their own team of paparazzis too, but whenever a celebrity wants to push a certain narrative or project or agenda, their PR team will orchestrate paparazzis to like catch them in their natural state. Like, oh, I just happened to be leaving this person's house. Like, how did you find it? How did you find me? Like, because your publicist paid them to come and take pictures of you so we can talk about them. Like, duh. I think all of that was a big social media thing. I think he got paid. I think they got paid. All of that to me was nothing but for show. Are they smashing? Maybe, maybe not. Are they dating? No, I don't think so. Do I think any of that was a surprise to Kyle? No, because Kyle's doing the same thing with Morgan Wade. You know, all the photos we have of Kyle and Morgan is not because the paparazzi just happen to be clairvoyant and have a crystal ball to know where Kyle and Morgan are hanging out. It's because Kyle and Morgan's teams are calling them to go get paparazzi shots. Kyle spotted shopping for rings with Morgan. Really? Just happened to be spotted shopping for rings? Come on now. You know what I mean? So Kyle wasn't surprised by those photos. She probably did the photo op herself. Same thing with the whole Kyle spotted with Rihanna in Aspen with Rihanna's boyfriend, baby daddy, ASAP Rocky. So this is the thing. Do you think it was just a coincidence that do you think it was just a coincidence that Rihanna was spotted in Aspen with Kyle? I don't think so. I don't think that was just a coincidence. I think that was a photo op. But I'll tell you the person who I think was actually trying to get good press with that was Rihanna. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm not talking about this particular subject on my channel because it can get really, really dark. So I want to do a little bit of a caveat. This subject can get really, really dark. And I'm personally not covering any of it on my channel. But the reason why I think Rihanna wanted that photo op with Kyle and with her kids in Aspen, this whole wholesome look, because we know right now Kyle and Mauricio, like them or not, they're hot. They're hot properties. They're all over the place in the blogs and the sphere. I think Rihanna wanted to make sure that she was not getting any of this P Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, TD Jakes blowback situation, Chris Brown situation going on, because right when she was spotted in Aspen was when all of the Cassie stuff and the Diddy stuff was coming out. And don't forget, all of them are really together and sort of that Hollywood loop, you know, with like when Rihanna was with Chris Brown, she was Jay-Z's protege, Jay-Z and Diddy were really close, and now all of that stuff. So I'm not talking about that on my channel because it's too dark. But I don't think it's a coincidence that Rihanna, of all people, just so happened to be in Aspen, just so happened to be hanging out with Kyle Richards at Kimosabi Hat Place. That was nothing but a fluff, divergent PR piece to make sure that Rihanna's brand isn't tarnished by all the other stuff that she could be associated with. Because you really have to think about why certain, quote, people who are brands, Rihanna is a brand, Kyle is a brand, these people are brands. Why these, quote, people / brands all of a sudden are being spotted together, all of a sudden are cozying up with each other, all of a sudden are having certain narratives. These are just paid for photo ops. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is going on there. Okay. Let's keep it going. All right. So Kyle and Mauricio are allowing each other to do what they want, provided they don't do anything embarrassing. Well, this is the thing. Kyle and both Mauricio have been embarrassing with this whole situation. You know, like Kyle out here with Morgan, Mauricio out here with the youngins. They're both being embarrassing. Like that ship has sailed. An insider spilled. Mauricio has clearly touched a nerve. Meanwhile, Kyle Richards is rumored to be dating country singer Morgan Wade, although both women have denied that they're anything more than friends. I don't think they're more than friends. I think Morgan is fulfilling out her contract, and I think Kyle is attention seeking. The insider hinted that Mauricio and Kyle's $100 million fortune is the main reason they have yet to file for divorce. Just like I said, that's why neither one of them have moved out yet. Nobody is trying to give up the rights to that home. In fact, the source noted that they don't have any intention of officially divorcing at this time. Again, it could be money reasons. They don't have a prenup. There's no denying that they push each other's buttons, the insider said, but they're going to continue to look the other way or try to. Speaking of looking the other way, Kyle recently admitted to Us Weekly that she doesn't know how long she and Mauricio can remain normal amid their separation. Kyle admitted that she's happy being single, but is still struggling to find her footing amid her new normal. Kyle, I don't believe you. I don't think you're happy at all. I don't think Kyle's happy. I don't think Kyle's happy with Morgan. I think Morgan is a distraction. I think Kyle, in the last episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle told us in one sentence exactly why she wanted to separate from Mauricio and has been acting out. Did you guys catch it? In her confessional, it's during the scenes where she has the celebration of life, of spotlight on mental health for her friend Laureen, who unfortunately passed away. And in the confessional, she says, I don't want to spend my time around people who don't appreciate me. That right there pretty much sums up everything we need to know about why Kyle and Mauricio are separated. She did not feel appreciated in her marriage to him. That's why she's out here doing all this attention-seeking stuff with Morgan and the tattoos and the weight loss and the acting out and all of this stuff. She did not feel appreciated by him. And I believe her. I don't think he did appreciate her. I think he took their go along to get along type lifestyle for granted. And I think once her friend passed away, I think once she hit a certain age, I think once things started to kind of really call her own mortality into question for herself, and we all get there if we're lucky enough. We all get to a stage in our life, if we're lucky enough, where we get to a certain point and our own mentality kind of stares us in the face and says, well, what are you doing with this life? And I think that she expected him to step up and he didn't. And I think that's the core reason of why everything has gone down between Kyle and Mauricio. Not even the cheating rumors. I think the cheating rumors are a part of it, but that goes into the appreciation. Like, I've held you down for a decade with all of these cheating rumors, with you embarrassing me, and you still can't be here for me when I need you. Now she's talking about it, social media DMs and all this, that, and the third. And we'll get into that. I think I have a story about that. But that's really what I think is going on there. Okay. Now let's keep going. See if there's anything left with this story. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put it down below. What do you think about Kyle and Mauricio's, marriage turning ugly? And what do you think the real reason for both of them sort of wilding out now is? Okay. Now let's see. Speaking of looking the other way, Kyle recently admitted to Us Weekly, and we covered that, blah, blah, blah. In a lot of ways, I feel happy, but I'm still struggling because it's all new to me. I've been married my whole life, Kyle said. We still live in the same house and we spent the holidays together. I have no idea how long we'll be like that, but we are trying to be as normal as possible in a very unnormal situation. She explained before revealing that she and Mauricio were both attending therapy. We both want to see each other happy, the Blvd confessed. I don't know what the future looks like. That's the hardest part because the unknown is scary. Okay, so they are both attending therapy. This is the thing. Are they attending couples therapy? Are they attending couples therapy? Because if they're just attending therapy on their own, but not couples therapy, then I don't know. So yeah, there it is, you guys. So let me know what you guys think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and grab a conspiracy tea that is linked down below in the show notes and the description box. So with that, let's move on to story number 2. Let's move on to story number 2, you guys. This one is all about